Dance Arts of Columbia provides fitness fun for everyone from 3 years old to adult. Dance Arts is a good environment where the friendly staff makes you feel comfortable. Dance Arts feels that dance is an art form that you can experience firsthand by learning tap, jazz, modern, musical theater, lyrical, and ballet. Dance Arts urges you to enjoy a sense of accomplishment while getting fit and having fun. For class information, call 875-1569. Dance Arts of Columbia, serving Columbia since 1979.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friend, Monday, February the 29th. I've got a dear friend with me today, Joy Sweeney, who came all the way up from Jeff City, Council for Drug-Free Youth. Good to have you here, Joy.
Great to be here, Paul. Thank you so much.
You know, you're one lady that really has your pulse on what's happening in the community as far as kids and drugs, and you're very passionate about it. You really are very, very passionate about it. You were telling me that you're just finishing up a program of tobacco?
Yes. February, we do a tobacco prevention program for third grade students, and we take it to all of the third grade students throughout Jefferson City and the surrounding schools, and we talk to them about all the icky stuff that's in tobacco and how out of breath you get from smoking tobacco, and in a level that's appropriate for third grade students.
Yeah.
You know, without vilifying parents or adults that do smoke, we want to provide them with information and education.
And the tobacco does fall into that drug-free youth.
Absolutely, yes.
Because it's addictive.
Oh, very much so, very much so. As a matter of fact, some people say that nicotine is one of the most, if not the most, addictive substance.
So what kind of response do you get from, you said third graders?
Third graders.
Third graders. So
Yeah.
how do you talk to third graders about not smoking?
Well, it's interesting, but we ask them questions, so we find out what they do and they don't know, and then we have them, we show them all the different things that are in cigarettes, and we have them mix them up in a bowl. We make them be a chef and a chef's assistant.
What do you mean, all the different things that are in cigarettes?
The tobacco and the tar and the nicotine and all the different ingredients. We have them ethanol and all. We have them pour all those things into a bowl and stir it together and say, "Would you want to eat this?" And then we show it up.
Oh no! I don't want to eat that. No. Well, this is what you're putting in your body.
Exactly. So we try and make it in a manner that they understand, and then we show the lung, a healthy lung and an unhealthy.
Oh, you do that?
We do.
You know, we did that many years ago on Pepper and Friend with one of our health segments. A nurse brought out a healthy, well, obviously the lung was dead because the person was dead, but a person who had died with a healthy lung, which was pink, and then a person who had died who was a smoker, and that human lung was black.
Yes.
It was black as my sweater or
my jacket.
coat.
Yes.
And that shows you what you're putting in to your body.
Absolutely. We don't actually bring a real lung. We show pictures.
Yeah.
But that's enough. That's graphic enough for third graders to understand, and we show pictures of what chewing tobacco can do to their lips and their inside of their mouth, and they all are disgusted by that look.
So do you feel that you're making a positive impression on these young people?
Oh, and yes, and we also have them do jumping jacks and ask them how much out of breath they are at the end, and tell them that that's how smokers are, just walking around too.
Yeah.
And so yes, we do surveys with the teachers both before and after, and we do pre and post tests to understand, make sure that they're elevating their level of understanding, and then we go back in 4th and 5th grade and ask them if they learned anything, and a lot of them remember from year on year the information that we taught them.
Have you had any response from parents about these programs?
We have, actually, yes, we have. It's very interesting that you asked that, because we had a parent one time that brought a poster. We didn't have a poster contest or anything going. Now we do, because we thought it was a great idea. But they brought a poster to one of our meetings and said, our child went through the 3rd grade tobacco program yesterday, and they came home last night and made this poster and wanted us to bring it to you.
Oh, nice.
And of all the stuff they learned from it.
Yeah. Okay, so that happened through the month of February.
Correct.
What have you got going on now? Or
Oh,
what have you
well-
got coming up?
Well, we have all kinds of exciting parent programs. We have a venturing club that we're starting up in Jefferson City so that young adults 14 to 20 will have things to do, because that's always a big excuse for turning to drugs and alcohol is there's nothing else to do in this town. So we're going to try and provide fun, exciting, cutting edge, where they can go to do zip lining and jet skiing and really fun activities. And that's in conjunction with Boys and Girls Club and Boy Scouts of America.
Do you go into high schools?
Yes, high schools and
when
middle school.
When you go into high school, obviously, are you dealing more with alcohol and drugs than smoking?
Well, yes, in high school, most of the high school students understand that tobacco smoking is not, it's harmful. Most of our community has gotten that message. Doesn't mean that they're not trying it and not doing it, but the numbers are going down. Tobacco numbers are improving. Youth use rates of tobacco have declined, which we're very excited.
The thing you keep in mind also, besides it being bad for your body, the amount of money that you spend on tobacco, on buying cigarettes.
Absolutely. We tell that to our 7th graders. We actually do the math with the 7th grade students. How much does a pack is? But we don't do the math with the 3rd graders. We just talk to them about the icky stuff and get them to understand how they would feel from smoking.
Yeah.
But with the 7th graders, we do that. When that was in January, we did our COPE program. Actually, we wrapped up the last few of those in February, too.
Do you feel that overall you're making a positive impression that is changing the way people think about drugs and alcohol?
We are changing the minds and attitudes of the youth. In order to effectively change long-term behavior, we have to change the minds and attitudes of the entire community, which is something that we've learned in recent studies, that if they're getting conflicting information from adults that they respect and admire, then it's difficult. It depends on who they're connected the most to and the information that they're providing. So now we need to make sure that we're educating parents, educating our community members, so that they're not getting one side of the story from us and a different side from somebody else that they respect.
Right. And, you have a glass of wine at dinner time, and young people see that, and the parents are doing that, and you say, okay, well, what's wrong with a glass of wine at dinner? Do you address something like that?
Absolutely. And we talk to the youth, especially, about the development of their brain. But to them, it's almost like the want. We talk to them about the consequences and the things that happen and the sexual assaults and the thefts and all the scary things, but also how their brains aren't fully developed until they're 25.
When you use alcohol at a younger age, you're actually rewiring your brain
to make it more addictive.
Right.
Absolutely.
If people want more information, what's the web address?
It's www.jccdfy.org. Alphabet soup, but Jeff City Council for Drug-Free Youth.org.
Joy Sweeney, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
We're out of time for today. Tomorrow, the Missouri Symphony Society and MU Theater. Our program directed by Travis McMillen, Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio, Pat Akers, KBIA. Our floor director is Ariel Sierra, and our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser.